all of those information is saving. The hard disk in the computer is very similar of the hard disk of nature. Everything that happened is saving. The attachment that you have is because you are asking for that kind of attachment, for that things that you need to continue to do. Then, why when you arrive, when you born, you arrive with a specific family? Why do you arrive with the specific father, mother? Why do you arrive to a specific city? And if you have the opportunity to catch all the information, you are going to see that it's perfect. All the information are going to tell you that you have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to resolve, because you attach with many persons, with many feelings, with many thinking, and you asking for come back to the specific place. Then even if you don't take anything from the earth when you die, also your feelings and your mind is attached with all of those things, and you are asking for come back in certain condition. And then when you see how is your face, how is your body, everything that you have is completely exactly of the history of before that you did before. And how is going to be the future depending what are you doing now, what are you doing in the present. How do you feel, how do you share, how do you communicate, how do you do everything. You are building your future depending what are you doing in the present. Then how do you build your karma? How do you create the karma? We can do the same action, but what is the preparation of the people, what is the maturity of the people is different. If you have a dog, if you have a cat, and you have a human being, the responsibility and how the life, how is the panoramic of life is very different, because one awake the reason and the other one doesn't have the reason. Then the same, when you develop your maturity, the responsibility is increasing. And when you have some specific rules, for instance, when you say you are going to receive a special discipline, for that you have to fast one day. What kind of fasting? No cakes, no chocolate, no ice cream, no, nothing, no food, nothing, for one day. Then in your mind, maybe it's hard. But when you realize that it's possible to fast one day without eating anything, then you see that how do you increase your will, and also that the panoramic of life is changing. But then, if you fast one day, then you have the possibility to fast without speaking. The fasting, the next step, is not to stop to eat, is to stop to speak. In 24 hours, you don't project any word. Even if the people seduce you, you have to keep silent. No telephone, don't speak with nobody, and then in those 24 days, you speak only with yourself, or you write with other people, but you don't projected any word. Then in another step, these other rules. You cannot bother other people. You cannot hit somebody. And then other rule is you cannot bother the people with your tongue. You cannot express any word to bother other people. Even if they insult you, even if they do something wrong to you, you cannot react the same. Then the responsibility is changing. Then the law of karma, when you start to understand, then you pay attention. What are you doing in the present? And what do you want for the future? And you cannot park it in one place for always. Life is going to move you, even if you don't want. Life is a moment that is going to tell, is the moment to stop to cry, is the moment to stop to be sad. You have to change, and everybody has to change. Let's see, Reverendo Arbey, what do you share with us?
I would rather to, I would rather really to, I've been learning about the experience of the especially about the, what is your name? Agustin. But I understand his point, and I agree with that, that you don't need to own the things to enjoy them. In fact, I was thinking that when I came in from New York to St. Louis, I said, I don't own this airplane. I paid the ticket, but I enjoy this plane as these planes were mine. And I have people that are serving me in the plane. And I believe that we don't need to own things to join them. Another aspect I would like to consider, and I question this, there are people that make their livelihood by accumulating and keeping antiquities. And that's the way that they, make the living. So what happened? They accumulate because these things are rare things and they're valuable. It made me think that the value that the people give things are relative. The value of things are in your mind. If you are in a desert where your life depends on water, it would be more valuable for you a glass of water than a pound of gold. So it made me think that the value of things are relative. And you could be attached with something that it doesn't have value for other people. Because in this life, there are some people that may be giving more of this world's goods than others. Destiny or not destiny, but there are some people that have more things than the other. But I'm still thinking that a person that has his health, his strength, and his happiness, indeed has plenty. And I always put that before anything. When you have your health, your strength, and you are happy, you have indeed plenty. The rest is, for me, protocol, because the values of things are relative. I still think it always down. And that's why I try to keep myself healthy, eating healthy food, keep myself active, all of that. Because for me, in my personal life, that for me is plenty, as long as I have my strength and my health.
I remember 9 or 10 years ago in Monterrey, somebody invited me to his home. And that person is very, very rich. He belongs a lot of drugstore in the north of Mexico. And then he invited to his home.
Legal or illegal?
Legal. we sit in the garden in front of the swimming pool, and then the little child arrived and said, "Father, I am ready to go to swim." And then his father said, "I am speaking now." And then he said, "Master, do you know how much time since I didn't use the swimming pool? At least 2 years that I didn't go inside." They have to put chlorine, they have to heat, to do everything. And he say, almost 2 years without using. At night, when I go to sleep, if I sleep 4 hours, I feel happy. And I have to sleep with a plastic acrylic, something in my teeth for all the tension that I have. And if you know how much money that person have, then the signification of the enrichment, depending not only for the things that you have, depending how do you use it then, how do you use your time, how do you awake the happiness for the things that you have, and also how do you suffer for the things that you don't have. Then when Reverend Barbey say is relative, the evaluation depending for each one. I want to ask Reverend Elena to share with us.
Well, I could have written all those things because you know how I think and you know how I really think the material thing has a purpose in life, and it's to make a better life. And if the material things don't accomplish that you have a better life and a very more healthier life, an enjoyable life, then they become absurd. They are not accomplishing what is the purpose of it. And I really believe that if you don't make a space in your mind, in your physical environment, in your mind or in your heart, things never happen. You have to allow them you have to give them the space to be there. For me, organization is very important. I have to make the environment where I am pleasant, and for me pleasant means beauty. And if I don't accomplish with that, I don't feel at ease. Always that I, like Antonio was saying, always that I buy something new, like if I get a new shoes or a new pants, then I go to my closet and I said, let's see, I'm going to see which one I haven't worn for, maybe because I'm waiting to lose weight, and then I say, oh, I'm going to wear it. And it's 1 year and I didn't lose weight, and then it's 2 years and I didn't lose weight. And I said, well, it's sitting there waiting. When I probably lose weight, I don't want to wear it anymore because it's of old style. So what I do is I take it to the hospital, the children's hospital, where many poor people come in Mexico to have their children of cancer, and they don't have enough money to have a place to stay or clothes. So I bring always to the hospital. I take a bunch, and I could make a garage sale, but I don't think either that is not really the purpose of sharing, of having things. I think you have to, like if you have something, that something has to have a use for somebody that really needs it. So I think this is like a recycled thing, and a way of sharing something that you have and that you are not using. So for me, this is the purpose too. I think what happens outside of ourselves is what is really inside of ourselves. When we have chaos, yes. Outside is because in a way we have a chaos inside of us. And we have to kind of start doing things in the outside in order to really have our mind settled, our mind in order. So it's like you have trash outside, you have taken two inside, there is trash. So you have to really like clean outside and inside. It goes both ways. You cannot go only one way. It's not like a beauty outside and inside is perfect, or chaos outside if you don't have organized your physic and your mind are connected. And I think this goes to a higher level, into spiritual life. I think this is everything is connected in your life, in your existence. So, and it is as hard to get rid of the physical things, or to organize your life outside, that is hard to organize your life inside. And sometimes you have the same struggle to find a thing. Antonio says everything has a place, and this is true. But sometimes it really is hard to find that a place for that thing, as it is hard in our mind to find the way that we should do our lives, or how to organize our lives inside of us. So to me, it's very interesting how we can make excuses, or to ourselves. We tell